Hello there, heroes. I'm the Orange Ranger, and wow. I think milestones are important to basically anyone as we journey through life, but for content creators especially, reaching a certain number of subscribers, the channel reaching a certain anniversary date, etc. But this milestone is especially important to me. You see, heroes, this is going to be my 100th Power Rangers episode review. That reflects a whole lot of diligence, dedication, determination, and a bunch of other words that probably start with D, and I'm very proud of that, to be perfectly honest. I'm not sure that I realized way back when I reviewed the first episode of Super Mega Force for my vlog, not even unmorphed, my first vlog, Almost Interesting, that I'd still be doing this 99 episodes later. Now, I know that some of you might be expecting this to be some kind of big event with all of my villains finally coming back out of the woodwork to stop me from reaching this amazing milestone. But no, not today. I've had Kaizoku quadruple the strength to the shield symbol power. I am doing this review just like I've done most of the other 99. Then, myself and my two robots are gonna have some cake. Well, maybe some almond flour pancakes since I'm still doing the keto thing.
You may be, but we're not. Yeah, cake for us, please.
So, let's
Alert. Incoming transport. Please prepare for incoming transport.
A present for the big occasion? I wonder who it's from.
Orange Ranger, you have an incoming video call from Professor McFlyzer.
Well, I guess that answers that question. Computer, answer call on screen. Orange Ranger, how is it you are doing on this most magnificent of occasions? Actually feeling pretty good, Professor, I've got to say. So, is this new doodad here something that's going to generate my new reviewing suit as a present for my big 100? Sadly, no. There's a confabulation in the polarity matrix that's really messing with the frequency modulator. Uh-huh. Have you tried multimodal reflection sorting?
Now, you do know what a bilateral collatral is.
Well, of course I do, human. I am not stupid.
Anyway, so what is this thing? Take a look! I am looking at it, and I'm no closer to knowing what it is. This is a dimensional frequency amplifier. You see, everyone has a dimensional harmonic. Well, two of them, actually. A greater harmonic that defines your home dimension, and a subharmonic that is specific to you. This device locks onto your specific dimensional subharmonic and amplifies it, giving you energy and drive. Wow, cool. I mean, sending me a case full of Monster Energy drinks probably would have been less complicated, but this sounds awesome. I am the best at the giving of the gifts. Now, if you'll excuse me, right back to work on that suit of yours. Many combinations, Elizabeth. Wait, what?
Many combinations, Elizabeth. I hope you get all my particles.
The caller has disconnected. Shall I attempt to re-establish the call?
No, computer, don't worry about it. Well, okay. Let's fire it up. Wow. I really do feel energized. I'm gonna knock this review out of the park.
I don't think so.
Don't tell me. How did you even get in here? The shield is 4 times more powerful.
A pity then that you didn't think of extending it underground. I have already demonstrated my ability to travel through the wires.
The underground wiring, of course. Kaizoku, add it to the list.
Silence! I don't suppose you know what kind of impact doing a 100th review would have on your reviewer's energy.
Well, bigger is better, right?
Exactly! So you're going to go ahead and do this little review, and then I'll be taking that energy for my own needs.
Sorry, shiny face, but I prefer my audience to be behind the screen, not in front of it. What do you even want my energy for anyway?
How typical of you to not even know, to not even remember what you did to me!
What I did? What, kicking your butt from here to Valdosta and back? I'm pretty sure that qualifies as self-defense.
No, you fool! What you did was to create me in the first place! My half-cursed existence is your fault!
What? Listen, you're obviously trying some sort of trick here, so just get lost. I'm not buying what you're selling.
Impudent cretin! Fine, in that case I'll just take 99 episodes worth of reviewers' energy. Depart this realm, Orange Ranger! Ah!
Master Sword now! Yeah!
I may not have destroyed you, but at least I broke your new little toy. Good luck fixing it, Borange Stranger!
Kaizoku, scan and report.
Already on it. It's bad. It was hit just as it was connecting to your dimensional subharmonic. The walls of the dimensions are shifting.
Alright, so how do we fix it?
Well, funny enough, with exactly what the Silver Skull was after.
The reviewer's energy? How?
The blast he fired at you sought to drain you of that energy. Hitting the amplifier, it created a tear in the dimensional wall, caused by anti-reviewer's energy, to coin a term. Feeding it reviewer's energy will basically stitch the tear back together and repair the rift.
So what you're saying is...
For Zordon's sake, kid, do the review! We ain't got all day here!
Well, let's take a look at the 14th episode of Super Ninja Steel, Sheriff Skyfire. Things start off on the Warrior Dome with a brand new episode of Galaxy Warriors. Cosmo introduces this week's contestant, Blammo. He's a demolitions expert that can create bombs. Alright, fine, I buy it. Anyway, the show is interrupted by sirens and the appearance of Sheriff Skyfire, a member of the Space Police. Besides police and sheriffs not being the exact same thing, I will kind of spoil by answering a question I raised earlier. No, it is not revealed at any point in this episode that Sheriff Skyfire is a member of Space Patrol Delta. Missed opportunity.
And here's yet another case, Heroes, where we hear about someone being legendary and tough and all of the ancient texts and legends, despite us never having heard of them before, so it means nothing! Anyway, despite Cosmo's best efforts to insist he's doing a television show, the sheriff does his duty arresting Blammo.
You piece of we're live!
But, Madam Odious, character that you cannot surprise. Since you would think fact that police officer coming to arrest contestant be thing that she not expect. She meet sheriff in hallway and have plan already ready to go. Maybe she call space police about Blammo being there? Anyway, she put on sad sack story about how evil Ninja Steel Power Rangers steal Nexus Prism. Badana say she was there, saw whole thing. They even have picture of them to show to sheriff. Sad thing about this is, I simple caveman maybe, but she's sort of right. Nexus Prism was never actually Odious's, but Brody stole from Galvanax, and nobody owned it before Galvanax, so... And of course, this legendary sheriff doesn't say that he's going to investigate the situation, check out her claims, see if she's on the up and up. Oh no, he instantly believes her and says he's going to go down to Earth to arrest the Rangers and get her prism back. Clearly not a scientist. The Rangers walk into school, but we pass by them for the moment, following a girl who is smart enough to wear a helmet while skateboarding, but not smart enough to realize that you shouldn't be doing that indoors in the first place. She is stopped by a security guard, following up on all the security guards we've been seeing in the backgrounds of various shots in every episode of the show. And by that meaning that this is the first time we've ever seen a security guard in this school.
He confiscates her skateboard, saying she'll be able to get it back later. Victor and Monty see this and ask him how he was able to make that girl give him her skateboard. He explains what being a security guard is, but all they hear is that it lets you make people give you free stuff. They ask him how they can become security guards as well. Foolish mortals.
Well, Victor, Monty, it takes at least months of training. You're going to need to learn all of the physical skills, learn all the rules, be drilled in various scenarios. You know, in this day and age that we live in, we would never make light of the importance of school security, right? Yes, of course, he instead just instantly hands them badges, deputizing them as student security guards. And of course, being the worthwhile characters that we're supposed to care about, the two of them instantly start looking for ways to abuse their newfound power.
The two approach a girl eating a banana and make up some rule about why she can't have it, taking it and eating it. Monty was a little funny in being the bad cop, but if the student couldn't have it, neither could Victor. The Rangers are eating lunch and Haley gives Cody some food.
The security guard comes over, and despite the fact we've never seen him before, Calvin even knows him by name, Clint. It's not like he could have seen his name tag from that far away. Clint tells Haley that she's not allowed to have her dog in the school. So obviously this is where we learn why Haley always has Cody around even during school, right? Like, he must be some kind of emotional support animal or something. I mean, she does have a dead mother, we believe, right? Or maybe she has some kind of medical condition where he would suddenly need to go get help for her.
Haley's actual reasoning for why this should be okay is that Cody's been in the school like a dozen times and everyone loves him. Wow, that's not an excuse, Haley. I was with Clint on this one. Sure, cute dog, I love dogs. But basically you just admitted to flaunting a school rule on a number of occasions without even caring. He gives her a write-up, whatever the heck that is, basically lets him play traffic cop with a ticket book despite not having the authority to hand out tickets.
They try and make us hate Clint by having him give Haley another write-up for throwing her aluminum can into the trash can instead of putting it in the recycling bin. Which doesn't even make sense because 1, recycling is optional, and 2, most trash companies sift through their trash to take the recyclables out anyway. But Haley gets a nasty attitude about the whole thing. That's right, heroes. Welcome to another edition of Character Doesn't Matter for the Sake of the Moral Theater. Mick calls the Rangers and tells them that there are buzz cams downtown. The Rangers head down there, but don't see any monsters. But then Sheriff Skyfire beams in, demanding that the Rangers surrender for their crimes against Madame Odious. Wording it in this particular way is the crux of the entire misunderstanding, since the Rangers get the impression that Skyfire is working for Odious, and they morph to fight him. Of course, when they heard him call himself a sheriff, they might have asked him about that, but I suppose monsters have had even stranger themes, even though this one clearly has human hands. They have a short fight, in which Skyfire really tossed Rangers around, only not defeating them because he wants to arrest them. Eventually, Brody resort to using Ribbit Rifle, and Skyfire deflect blast towards Old Lady, who apparently both blind and deaf, just walking to car in middle of Ranger fight.
She starts falling backwards, and the show makes this big dramatic deal about her falling to the ground and Brody diving under her to catch her just in time. She was just falling down to the ground like 2 to 3 feet. It's not like she was falling off the parking garage. That would have been dramatic. Just falling down to the ground. I get that she was old. Oh, I've fallen and I can't get up. I've had 1 or 2 of those moments, I hate to say. But come on! Anyway, Skyfire realizes the Rangers aren't the bad guys, and they tell him that Odious tricked him. And he just believes them!
And you believed it?
Yeah, they can't put anything on the internet that isn't true.
And seriously, that whole part of the plot is done now. 10 minutes into the episode and the whole Rangers versus the Sheriff thing is resolved. He agrees to go with the Rangers back to their base to find out about all the monsters that have attacked Earth. I was absolutely terrified that this was going to lead into a clip show. And Odious just gives up on this idea, going right back to Blammo. By the by, Haley gets a text from the principal, who has her cell phone number because of reasons, to come meet with her. But Donna tells Blammo that she knows the perfect place to hide the bomb. The junkyard where the Rangers train. That is not a junkyard! That is the outside of the shop class area where the Rangers attend school. She's really lucky that Blammo actually ended up in the right place. As an evil mastermind, you have to be good with the details. He hides the bomb in a trash can, setting the timer for 3 o'clock, when only the Rangers will be around?
Who cares?
What?
Who cares?
This becoming problem now. In world where monsters want to take over planet, people going to be in danger, people going to be hurt. But Ninja Steel take great pains to assure audience that show is taking place inside bubble, where only Rangers are in danger of being hurt. Other humans totally safe.
Victor and Monty have thrown themselves into the whole security thieves thing, taking a hat and shirt from one student and what Victor thinks are blueberries from another, despite him clearly working on some kind of science experiment. Why do people think this is okay? Is anyone paying attention? Can someone please tell somebody?
Haley meets up with the principal, who has received all of her various write-ups and has decided on a punishment for her, having her sort the trash from the recyclables. This is not logical. If you have someone assigned to do this, why are there 2 separate bins? And again, the facilities that take trash, double check if there are any recyclables inside. Haley finds Clint already doing it. It's not part of his job, but he says he takes it on himself since nobody else does it. Except when the principal sends one of the other students to do it, or is this the first time that... You know what? I never actually cared. Him finding the cans in the recycling in the trash and the trash in the recycling turns into some kind of big rant about how nobody listens to the rules, nobody respects him around this place. And that is why, when he is after dropping off the recycling at the recycling center, which closes at 3 o'clock, conveniently enough, he is quitting this job.
We see no signs of him being abused or even ridiculed for his job. Students roll their eyes at him, mainly because he's a pedantic butthole, but nobody yelled at him, told him to back off, etc. And besides, we are only meeting this character today, so this means nothing!
So during this conversation, he pulls the bomb out of the trash can, not knowing what it is, but saying that since it's made of metal, it can be recycled, and he takes it with him. Sheriff Skyfire and the other Rangers exit the base, and Haley fills them all in. Sheriff Skyfire gives us what I think is the moral of the day. Something about respecting authority and why rules exist?
Anyway, Skyfire says it's back to hunting for Blammo, and since he's holding a bomb in what's either his Galaxy Warriors promo poster or a wanted poster mugshot, it can't seem to quite decide between the two, they realize that Clint is driving with a bomb. They know they have to hurry up and catch him, and Haley, has an idea. Her idea is to take to the skies and to search for him on the streets on the ground. That is excellent thinking, Haley. That is thinking like a scientist. You can hop in the Falcon Zord with Brody, or even the Dragon Zord with Preston, and search from the sky. Great plan. Instead, she is flying in the sky searching in her Tiger Zord.
Behold the incredible Haley and her magical flying tiger. I mean, I don't doubt that all the Zords can fly, but 2 Zords you have are designed to. Why is she flying around in a Zord that really isn't designed to fly?
She spots Clint driving and leaps down, stopping him and going for the bomb. The other Rangers show up, and as he reacted to them, something clicked for me. I realized that his voice sounded incredibly familiar. So I looked it up, and indeed, Clint is played by Byron Call, who is Redbot's voice actor. Kudos to him for doing a different voice enough that it took me hearing him say the word Rangers to catch on. It's good for a voice actor to have a good dynamic range, in case you hadn't noticed.
Anyway, the Rangers tell him what's going on and they search the truck. Brody finds the bomb, sees that 10 seconds are left on the clock, and is absolutely flummoxed as to what to do about it. I would try throwing the thing, but hey, I'm not a Power Ranger. I'm just some dark stranger. What would I know? Haley is a Power Ranger and uses her Earth attack to open a hole in the ground to throw the bomb into to explode, where it surely wrecked up some plumbing and other electrical wiring. I will give the episode credit for this, though. The time from where Brody said there's 10 seconds left to when the bomb actually exploded really was 10 seconds.
The Rangers make sure that Clint is okay, and Haley says that if Clint hadn't sorted through the trash, they never would have found the bomb. I guess, technically speaking, that's true, although sorting through the trash is something he did anyway. It's not like something he took upon himself this one time. And besides, there are actually a lot of if-nots here. If the principal hadn't assigned Haley to do that job to talk to Clint, if Sheriff Skyfire hadn't been there with Blammo's wanted poster revealing the bomb, etc. Blammo teleports down, upset that the Rangers thwarted the bomb. Sheriff Skyfire steps forward, and Blammo runs away, saying he's not going back to jail. 1, you're not scared of 6 Power Rangers that can destroy you, but scared of 1 space sheriff with a cloth mouth guard who's going to arrest you. And 2, if you are more scared of the sheriff arresting you than the Rangers destroying you, what exactly is it that they do to monsters at Space Police Jail?
Zordon helped me. I actually enjoyed this fight scene. The Rangers go right back to their ninja ways, grabbing Blammo's arms and taking free licks on him. Brody and Skyfire team up, of course, and we get neat finishes from both, including Brody using Skyfire's sword for a final attack.
Blammo gets gigantified, and I guess the episode was running a little short on time, because we get the full Blazord introduction, summon, and Megazord formation sequence. There's nothing the exalted Sheriff Skyfire can do but stand and watch. After a short exchange of attacks, Blammo leaps on the Megazord's back and starts weighing it down into the ground. Somehow.
But that okay, because Rangers pull green fire attack out of... and then finish Blammo off.
That was easy.
Skyfire congratulates the Rangers on a job well done, then says it's time for him to go and get a new assignment, asking if they can handle Madame Odious. Why wouldn't Madame Odious be your assignment? You have a dangerous magical creature who's attempting to take over a planet, whom you know is guilty of lying to a law enforcement officer and attempting to get innocent heroes framed and arrested. Admittedly, something that I've done once or twice. Stay and help the Rangers fight!
So he leaves, never to be seen again, I'm sure, and the Rangers realize that for whatever reason, they have to convince Clint to keep his pretty crappy and probably not that fantastically paying high school security guard gig. Haley says she's got just the idea.
I have an idea.
Really? What is it?
Let's leave!
In the shop, the Rangers have a surprise prepared for Clint. They've rigged up some kind of automatic trash and recycling system where the trash can will toss the item out if it's meant for recycling and the other way around. This, they think, will make his job easier since he won't have to sort the trash anymore.
2 problems with that. 1, nobody's going to wait around to see if the trash can accepts their trash. They're just going to walk off. So instead of having trash sorted into the wrong bins, you're just going to have trash all over the floor. And 2, Sorting the trash was never part of Clint's job anyway. It was something he did voluntarily. A better way to fix this would be to convince the principal to hire a trash sorter, or for the Rangers to do it themselves as part of some goody two-shoes club or something.
They begged Clint to stay, saying that the school just wouldn't be the same without him. Well, duh! What would Summer Cove High be without this character that we haven't seen in the 35 episodes before this, and, let's be real here, folks, are not going to see in the 8 episodes after this? Of course, he decides to stay, and then we get to see just how much he's needed in the comedy wrap-up. Victor and Monty have collected themselves a king's ransom of confiscated goods and eat the blueberries. The students drag Clint over and make their accusations, and when the one student mentions his science experiment, Victor and Monty asks if he means the blueberries. But of course, those baseballs the two of them ate are not simple blueberries, but a science experiment to make food for astronauts. Unfortunately, they currently have the side effect when consumed of making the episode shamelessly rip off Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, even having them name drop Violet to make it very, very clear.
I've got another puzzle for you. That gives me an idea for the stars this week.
Sheriff Skyfire, episode 14. These are the pros that Orange did see. Lots of effort shooting the suit of Sheriff Skyfire. It was a hoot. This episode featured 2 good fights. Versus and together, it was a sight. And Odious started with a good plan. But here are some things I don't understand. That's right, it's time for the cons. Haley becomes another ranger, to her own character to be a stranger. Delivering the moral was Clint's trick, but his character was unsympathetic. Skyfire was neat in our midst, but for the rest of the season he will be missed. So here is my verdict, and I don't jive. Sheriff Skyfire gets 2 stars out of 5.
Now let's talk. You know what? That's enough. So it wasn't really that surprising to see Sheriff Skyfire in this footage. For those unaware, the good sheriff is a Japanese toku character called Seikai Ninja Jiraiya. Jiraiya was one of the Metal Heroes, a 3rd toku series that ran alongside Super Sentai and Kamen Rider from 1982 to 1998.
However, we live in an age of nostalgia where everything old is new again. So, the Metal Heroes have started popping up here and there in various other toku productions. It started a few years ago with Space Sheriff Gavan appearing in Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger. And yes, a few years later, Jiraiya appeared in an episode of Shuriken Sentai Ninja.
This is almost a pro and a con, hence me coming back to this later, but this was an episode that clearly could have been skipped, so in a way, they deserve some praise for giving us something that they didn't have to, giving us a character that fleshes out Ninja Steel a little bit, expands the world and continuity of this mainline universe, at least theoretically, of course. I didn't really praise it at first, mainly because it's mostly Sentai footage, but the first fight between the Sheriff and the Rangers was pretty nice. And no, it's not just my desire to see the Power Rangers get crushed at every opportunity, though especially with this team, it helps. It was just well choreographed, and seeing one Space Ninja beat up 6 Earth Ninjas is pretty sweet.
And as I did mention, the fight scene where the Rangers and Skyfire fight Blammo actually was pretty cool. I can't even really put my finger on what it was that I enjoyed so much. It was well choreographed, they worked well together. It was just a really nice fight scene. I remember watching this part of the episode, kind of sneering to myself and going, alright, I'm actually kind of digging this. And I know that I, as I say in my country, jorbled her woblets about this, but I can actually turn it right around to a pro. You see, sometimes I am giving Ninja Steel the benefit of the doubt on things. Odious suddenly having the plan to frame the Rangers for stealing her prism was, on reflection, a nice little bit of improv. Now, having that photo ready and having Badana totally on board with the plan without having time to talk about it was a little bit much, but overall Odious is very smart and quick on her feet. What took away from that was the sheriff just taking their word for it without doing any investigating.
However, Haley this week was just like Sarah last week, getting slammed out of her character for the sake of the moral. Haley is supposed to be the sweet one, the kind, caring girl with the heart for animals who loves everyone. This week, she openly flaunts the rules. Her excuse for doing so is basically admitting that nobody cares about them, and she's snotty about being punished for it. I happen to find that incredibly attractive, but that probably means you thought she was way out of character and just unlikable this week.
Now that's not to say that the security guard that she was being a snot to was any more likable. They swung Clint around way too hard between character extremes. He starts out as this anal retentive jerk who takes delight in writing up students for the slightest offense. I mean, I found it pretty funny, but I doubt you guys did. He deputizes 2 students who make it clear that they just want to take stuff from other students and gives them no guidance on doing the job besides handing them a dumb rule book. But then we see him sort recycling, and suddenly, oh, woe is me. I sad because nobody respects me or work I do. I sort recycling all on my own, even though it not part of my job, and it be perfectly easy to tell principal that someone need to do it. Heck, it seemed like he get someone to do it. He tell principal to have someone do it. Principals tell Haley to do it. But no, he do it himself anyway, and now he's so sad that when he's done with recycling, he going to quit his job.
It was such a forced, ham-handed, misguided attempt at pathos generation for this character. You can't have it both ways. Not that I would expect this show to realize that, seeing as they try to have it both ways with the Rangers every single week. You can't paint Clint as this rules-obsessed jerk that we're supposed to hate, even though I really like him, of course, trying to make us sympathize with Haley to the point that you have Cody whine as she takes him outside, and then turn right around and show him doing one good thing and whining about how nobody respects him and expect us to just feel for him. And since we saw the Rangers giving Sheriff Skyfire plenty of respect after the initial misunderstanding, it doesn't even connect between the plots.
And yes, seeing this new hero in Sheriff Skyfire was neat. However, there are a lot of sequences in this episode where you can see that a good amount of original footage was shot for this. It almost points to that bizarre form of laziness that Linkara called out Super Megaforce for, when there are far neater things that could have been done with the original footage budget than making sure this episode could air. It would almost make you think that Bandai of America was pressuring them to make this episode so they could make a toy, but I haven't seen one.
All in all, I gave it a 2 because it wasn't as bad as the past 2 weeks, but this by no means was good either. This is just this weird kind of standalone episode that feels almost non-canon, kind of just like a Toku team-up movie special. Nothing has really changed by the end, and we all know that we're never going to see this character again. Well, before this thing turns me into some kind of squid that's incapable of speech, let's take a peek at the 15th episode of Super Ninja Steel, Tech Support. The evil Typeface attempts to render the Power Rangers' weapons useless by means of a computer virus.
Great! Now I'm Kaizoku stuck in Sean's body. Wait, that means that I can actually fix this. Wow, it's actually nice being in a human body. I should have Sean work on something a little roomier for me. Teleporting. Okay, the reviewer's energy seems to be at a high enough level. I just have to apply it to the rift through this device, and here goes.
Okay. Alright, I'm me again. Wait. Let's wait on it for a few seconds. Okay. I don't seem to be changing into anybody else. Awesome. Well, that sure was interesting. But I suppose that makes it no different than any of the 99 episode reviews I've done before this one. Heroes friends in my audience, whether this is your very first video watching me, or you've been along for the ride for all 100 episode reviews, whether you've only seen me on YouTube or we have met in person, thank you so much for watching. I am honestly proud of having reached this milestone. It blows my mind to think that I've done 100 episode reviews. And it's not like I have any intention of stopping. I'll be right back here next week for my 101st episode review, and then hopefully onward to my 200th, 300th, and so on. Make sure to like the video by clicking that thumbs up button right down below. In the comments below, let me know what you thought of this episode as well as my review of it. And for a little extra fun for my 100th episode review, if there's a particular review of mine or even video in general that you really liked that you would call your favorite, let me know what that is down in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to see all of my videos and ring that bell, get your notifications set up so you can be notified of whenever I post brand new videos just like these Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel episode reviews. And if you really like the work I've done over 100 episodes and would like to toss a little bit of financial support my way, you can head over to digitaltipjar.com/orangerangervid, toss some tip change into the jar, and I'd be grateful for anything that lands inside there. Onward to numbers that are 3 digits and contain lots of zeros. Until next time, may the power protect you. Sadly, no. There is a confabulation in there's a confabulation in my beard not staying where it's supposed to.
Typical of you for not to know! Typical of you for not to know? What? How typical of you to not know! How dynamic. No, you fool! What you did was to create me in the first place! Depart this realm, Orange Ranger!
I wasn't sure if it was gonna fall. About how evil Ninja Steel Power Rangers steal Nixon. Well, Victor, Monty, it takes at least months of training. You'll need to learn the physical schools. Well, Victor, Monty, it takes at least months of training. You'll need to learn all of the physical skills. Obviously, he's some sort of, like, Then Sheriff Skyfire beams in and demands that the Rangers surrender.
It's done!
He says that Haley finds Clint already doing it. It's not part of his job, but he says he takes it on him.
We see no signs of him being abused or even ridiculed for his job. Why did that go ding?
Because we get the full Blazord summon introduction and Megazord formation sequence. Yep.
This, they think, will make Clint's job easier since he won't sort of have to. Skyfire was neat in our midst, but for the rest of the. So here is my verdict, and I don't jive. Sheriff Skyfire gets 2 stars out of. No, dagnabbit. So here is my verdict, and I.
Though especially with this team, it helps. Just, well...
I'm splitting the take just so that I can adjust the stupid beard.
He starts out as this anal retentive jerk who took... You can't have it both ways with this character. Not that I really... It was such forced, ham-handed, mishandled, tempting the... Although I really love that, of course. And then turn right...